As Lloyd mentioned in his opening, these advanced communication manuals sometimes are a bit different than our regular speaking. This one actually has many different parts, and it's a fairly complicated project. That's why we have so many different time variations to keep track of. Sorry, Jen. This first part that I'm doing is actually the explanation of what's going to be occurring during my project. So the first thing that I'll be doing is actually starting up a conversation with somebody. I've chosen Jake for this project. I actually don't know Jake that well, and so I figured he'd be a great person to contact into this role. My goal is to be able to start a conversation, get it rolling, and just hopefully form some sort of bond or connection that will build on any type of relationship that I may want to establish. For example, if you're in sales, maybe you're out in your daily life and you meet somebody that could be a prospective client. So the only way to figure this out is to actually start talking to them and find out where they're going, some things about them. There are good ways to accomplish this, and there are some, maybe less than effective ways. Some of the better ways start with something like just small talk, talking about weather, talking about your situation. It's important when you start a conversation just to keep it easy, keep it kind of light, because that person doesn't know you, they don't. As Mary was talking about, and she kind of gave me the inspiration for the setting that I'll be using later. When she was talking, or she did this project with a friend, and when he started talking, he walked straight up to her, and it was supposed to be at a bus stop, and got right in her face and made her feel uncomfortable. And she kind of displayed that to me already, so I got one thing I can, make sure I don't do. Poor Jake up here. As far as I'll talk about the scenario a little bit now. I've just picked bus stop because I figured that'd be probably the most challenging place to start a conversation. There's absolutely zero context for starting a conversation with somebody at a bus stop. What do you think about it? There's two people at a bus stop. There's a box around you and there's a street and you're waiting for a bus. You're not at a mixed room, you're not at a business meeting. This is going to be difficult, so hope you enjoy watching me perhaps stumble around a bit. As far as about that. Pretty much about all I have to say about the initial project. At the end, so this is phase one, like I said, which is me explaining what's going on. Phase two will be the actual conversation, and then phase three will be the actual evaluation where you all can participate, tell me some things that went good, some things went bad. It's actually kind of a group evaluation in addition to the regular paper forms, which will be kind of, I guess, group thinking, better ways to start conversations, because quite frankly, even though Toastmasters offers some excellent speaking abilities, such as I'm doing right now, just standing up in front of a group and talking, or and then maybe a little bit more prepared, or the opportunities where you just impromptu speak, the conversation is a bit different animal when you think about it, because in a speech, you're just talking to people without any type of response back where you have to kind of dig into your memory and figure out what's going on. As far as, how am I doing for time?
3:40.
Okay, just want to make sure I don't go too far over. And as far as actual conversation, it's a two-sided beast, where if you just monopolize the conversation, that person's most likely going to get put off and you won't establish those important business contacts, you won't get the people actually engaging in you. So it's really important, like I said, I think, to develop all aspects. And this is something that, if you come to the second best tonight, we can all hopefully employ some of these tactics and tips that we've grouped think through to develop better ways to converse with each other. And is there any questions before I begin about the overall flow or goal and what we'll be looking for? See, I'm already conversing. All right. So setting-wise, let's go ahead and start the second part. Setting-wise, I'm at a bus stop. That's it. Jake's going to be walking up to the same bus stop. And that's all I've told him. Like I said, this is completely from scratch. So I try to make it as simple as possible. We'll just see how this goes. Let's go. How's it going?
Pretty good, how about you?
Oh, it's been a long day, that's for sure. Been working nights here recently, and it's nice to be out in this nice weather. This fall weather's been really just mild.
It has. Not my favorite place to enjoy it, waiting for the bus. It seems to be late always.
Isn't the bus always late? Yeah. So you said it's not your favorite place, what does that mean?
The bus stop.
The bus stop?
The bus
Yeah.
stop.
I'd rather be maybe at a park right now, I think would be nice. I'd like to go out and just kind of get barefoot, actually, and just walk around the grass. That sounds like a fun way to spend my fall.
It surely does, yeah. There are so many great parks around here.
Yeah.
Putting places.
Are you from the west side or the east side?
I'm from here now, originally from the west side, down towards Tacoma.
Okay, okay.
So,
Yeah, I was born down in Portland, but we moved up here, so we're really down basically a local resident. Now they live over in East Wenatchee. So
Mhm.
that's actually where I'm going to right now. Just got off of work, went to a meeting today, that was pretty fun. It's kind of a communication leadership class. You look like you might be in a business of some sort?
yeah, I own a business. I only dress like this to make myself appear legit, though.
So what does that mean, like the marijuana legalization act?
Yeah,
So-
exactly. No, I own an insurance agency.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, I'm Steve, by the way.
Jake, good to
Nice
meet you,
Jake.
Steve.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Well, I actually work at the hospital here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. What do you do?
Well, I'm a nurse on the cardiac floor. It's kind of where people go when they've had like, their heart issues or strokes or something like that. It's kind of a higher intensity area. Yeah. So insurance would probably be a relevant thing in such a setting, I'm sure.
Yeah, it could be. My world is a little more like auto home. Everything besides health.
So,
But,
well, life insurance.
The
right?
life, yeah, totally.
Did you watch the Seahawks the other day? Yeah, that was kind of, it was kind of one of those things where you're going, okay, where's the 12th man effect going on? This is a home game, you're supposed to win. You're in Seattle, come on.
And, you know, we truthfully played so terribly. The score did not reflect how poor.
How poorly they were.
How horrible the performance was.
Exactly. Yeah, it's one of those things where I like to watch the games occasionally, but when they're getting kind of just, I don't mind losing, but when you're, like you said, when they're just such poor performances, you just kind of get disheartened, I guess. Especially after that, such a great season last season.
Absolutely. And the way that they normally play in comparison to yesterday. Though the Cowboys played an amazing game.
I'm kind of a Cowboy hater, so.
Oh,
But yeah, we'll give them a little bit of credit, I
Me
guess.
too then. They played terrible. We
Yeah,
played way worse.
exactly. Yeah, we just get those out of the league, we'll just call them good.
Yes, exactly.
You ever actually go to one of those Seattle games, or?
I went to one. I actually went to the playoff game a couple years ago against the Saints, where Marshawn Lynch had the run, you know.
Run the world.
Yes, exactly. And I was in about the cheapest seats you can be in, as high as you can be. It was unbelievable.
Don't you love that? Yeah, I was actually at the Rams playoff game, and I think I probably got your seat at the game. Like way in the back where you're going, I think I can see some players down there. It looks like a football game.
Exactly, exactly. But it sounds like you're in the middle of that stage. It's really cool place to experience it.
Yeah, something, they say something about as loud as a Boeing jet taking off, I think is what they said, like decimal wise. It's just ear-shattering and mind-numbingly now, but it's a fun game though, especially.
It's awesome.
You can't get that kind of experience, just get that rush.
Exactly.
Kind of thing.
Exactly.
Well, it's been good talking to you. It was Jake, right?
Yeah.
Jake,
Good to meet you,
nice to
Steve.
meet you. My bus is here, so.
All right. Hey, we'll see you next time.
Yep. All right. That was the conversation portion of the meeting. Looks like you all are giving me some writing already. That's good. Feedback. I like it. So as far as, let's go open to close here with the conversation. We can talk about different ways to open conversations, different ways to transition into maybe a more engaging conversation with there's all sorts of aspects that went on during this speech. We can talk about maybe our body language and communication styles and all sorts of things like that. Is there anything that pops out to anybody's mind that was good, that could be done better? Anything that you really like to see more of?
Do you go up to a bus stop or any situation like that with some things in mind already?
It probably would help if you had something going
I
on.
mean, do you personally?
Like personally, don't usually. It seems like most of the conversations I've been getting into lately have been in a setting that already has some sort of context around it. So when you're going context-free like a bus stop, it really, you just have to shoot with a warm personality and a nice, hey, how's it going? And see how receptive the person is to talking. There's also another way that I could have used in this if things had kind of stalled out, but we, had a great conversation, I think. I could have maybe, which I did a little bit, I kind of looked at him, but that was later in the speech. I could have started off with, oh, hey, are you just getting off of work? Because you know, obviously dressed in more of a work garb than that. You can start with, like the manual says, the situation or an observation about a person, or just your overall experience of what's going on, which is kind of where I went with this. It's a nice day. Good weather, easy stuff.
You did a good job of evolving and building the conversation. I thought a nice general opener. And what would you do though if you got like the cold shoulder?
The cold shoulder.
Yeah.
Cold shoulder. It's happened many times for me. Yeah, many times. It's one of those things where sometimes you can, some people take it personally. Some people just say, hey, it's the other person. I kind of say it's a little bit of both. Look at what you did wrong in that situation. Like if I want to try to start a conversation, as Mary was saying earlier, and I was like, hey, how's it going? How you doing? That's going to somebody out. Yeah. She was sitting down, she knows me, she's got a table between us, and she still was about ready to jump out of that chair.
Yeah.
These other things, I come up and I'm just like, just having such a rough day. Done. You're out. Strike 3, all in one step. So.
Yeah. And that's the thing with role-playing too, and in the situation I was in, I actually made it hard for him too. He came at me a little too strong. It's because we were really good friends at work, but for strangers it was an invasion of my space, and then I'm pretty good at being quiet and not responding to people, so that would have made it more of a challenge for you, but you guys had a good rapport, and so it went on. You did have, at the beginning, a few yes-no questions, but as it went on, you found some topics, you asked him his opinion, or did you watch the game and pulled more out of him, so that Jake gave a few speeches of his own.
And as the person you were having a conversation with, the questions you were asking that were open-ended were very general. These we talked about. Did you watch the game? Everybody in the state watched the game. Did you like the weather? The weather. He was talking about the weather. Yeah, it was well done on that.
One recommendation I would make is to physically turn more toward him and make eye contact more. Instead of you were facing us and kind of talking to him sideways. By turning just a little more, not in his space, but turning more toward him shows interest in him as a person.
Right. Yeah.
That's very
Yeah, I kind of felt that too. I saw him kind of start opening up too, but then it's hard to, like, oh, I'm waiting for my bus over here, sort of like, it's hard to just get that kind of conversation. But that is a good tip. I will work on that. And I will wrap with that because I'm out of time, so thank you all.